Hello there, guys, and welcome back to the Powerful Performer podcast. This podcast is helping ambitious actors all over the world build a blockbuster body so you can book more jobs. And I'm excited today to bring on my dear friend Mike Watson, sorry, who is a life coach and a manifestation, if I'm saying that right,
Yeah.
expert. But I
Well,
wanted
I
to
will
bring Mike
take
on.
that.
Go for it. Let's just bring you straight on because I can't wait to get this conversation rocking. So yeah, welcome, Mikey boy.
Well, thanks for having me. So, just for fun, a bit of backstory. Me and Tom worked together on Jersey Boys
Yeah.
back in the day. Great Bob Gaudio, by the way. And
Great, Frankie Valli. So I'm just good. Yeah, Mike was my first Frankie Valli. He did it for many. Would you say you're best known for playing Frankie Valli in
yeah, that was
the
my
West End?
5 year stretch overall, really, of Frankie Valleying.
And
Is
and then just to jump straight in, so where you were then, where are you now? Because you're no longer acting. You've done amazing things. So like, where are
yeah.
you now?
So now, basically, it took a lot of adjustment to come out of the acting game, but I did the tour and missed the first year of my daughter's life, really, and I just was like, I can't really embrace this lifestyle anymore and be the dad I want to be. And I'm not saying everyone should do that, but we didn't live in London at the time either, so it was like we'd already taken a move out of London. So it was just a lot of journey. I took a job in sales at first, just thinking, do a job, but I just didn't align to it. And then it was a lot of COVID happened and everything. And I just started to realize when I was on the tour, I started to do something called confidence coaching because I was scared to say manifestation and spirituality, because
Hmm.
we're all going through this what's everyone going to think of me thing. But eventually, when I let go of my ego and started to just speak my truth, I started a YouTube channel and it really exploded. And now I teach people all over the world how to manifest. Actually, I'm going to be really open with you. A lot of people have physical healings with some of the work that I do as well. Helps them on their healing journey and on their creation journey. And it's really magical to see some of the things I've experienced are hard to explain besides miracles.
So what is manifesting for people that don't know, and how can it particularly help people in the creative industry, entertainment industry, and performing
Love
arts
that.
industry?
So the thing is, obviously, we're in an industry really. Let me answer the first one. Manifestation is a term used a lot for creation. You can create your life in front of you. But what tends to happen is a lot of people think I'm going to manifest it, I'm going to control everything. So they let go of one fear, which is I'm anxious about what could happen. Am I going to achieve my dream roles? Am I going to do this? Am I going to do that? And instead, they go to another thing where they go, no, I'm going to manifest it now. And they get very set on what they're going to do. But they don't realize that it's actually boxed in with these fears of, I need to do it. I must do it.
So
So
is it
what I
just another way of controlling?
sometimes people lean into it like that, but the true art of manifestation is letting go and feeling that there is some sort of divine force that's going to guide you if you trust it enough. So my way of approaching manifestation is more about surrender and letting go, and then gentle intention from that place of peace. So I believe if we can achieve inner peace and acceptance of what is, then become intentional, then we can start to create from there. And then there is this life principle or divine force that seems to guide you through the pathways to where you want to be. Obviously, we want to get a vision. We want to know where we're going. And you're one who's great for that, Tom. We want to know where we're going, but we don't want to feel like it needs to happen now or it needs
Right.
to happen tomorrow. It's like, I like to go a bit more general. So when I was 18, I'll be a lead in the West End at 25. And I became Frankie Valli at 25, which was kind of surreal when I looked back at my list. I also had, other things on that list and they all seemed to tick off. But it's because I'd no longer become so dependent on the achievement of them. I just knew that they would happen if I kept following a process.
So maybe you don't know this, but what is the magic within manifesting? Or is it
Mm.
simply that you set a goal and everything in your life becomes that focus and you adopt the habits, the non-negotiables to making that happen? Or is there some sort of worldly magic that starts to kick in and happen?
Well, this is where, I think you have to kind of frame it for how it suits your needs as an individual. But
Right.
obviously, if I speak on it from my point of view, I realize this is that everyone can create the life of their dreams. But what the problem with manifestation now is people go, right, I'm going to start to manifest. I'm going to start to make gratitude lists and vision boards and do all these things. But they're
Done it
not
all.
dealing. They're not dealing with the underlying cause, which is holding them back. Which is actually underneath it all. They're actually very fearful, judgmental, insecurities. They're creating characters of people outside of themselves that are judging them, and they're not dealing with those aspects. So they're trying to, on top of that fear, I call it, they're placing positivity, but it's not actually dealing with the root cause of why they're struggling to manifest, which is actually they don't feel worthy underneath. Actually, they're scared of what it might mean to achieve their goals. A lot of people like, I'm going to be a lead in the West End, but I'm actually terrified of what that would be like, really. So I try and teach people, deal with the fear by, and I'll go into it later on the
Yeah, it'd be
podcast,
great.
how to do that. But from a place of inner peace, if you're at peace with everything, like you're like, I'm an actor, maybe I'm not working right now. But if I'm acceptant of that without judgment, then I become a bit more peaceful about it. Now I can become intentional. Right, within the next 6 months, I'm going to have an amazing job. You don't have to go so specific. Now you just take the action. So for me, from that place of peace, my action would be, I'm going to go to 1 class a day. I'm going to, maybe my voice has been a bit funny. I'm going to go to a couple of singing lessons. I'm going to email a couple new agents. So how I built my coaching business like that was, I'm going to deal with all the fears and insecurities by sitting with them, observing them, letting them naturally release. And I'll go through an exercise like that. And then I affirmed, I'm where I'm meant to be, doing what I love, infinitely prospered, infinitely blessed. And then every day it'd be like, I'm going to build my website. I'm going to do that video today. I'm going to do that bit of action. So I made the inner work the first thing, then the process, a bit like working with you, Tom. I've done my inner work around it. Now I'm following the process you've set out for me, and it's having great achievements. Do you see what I'm saying?
Is it like your life isn't dependent on it because you've got inner peace anyway? You're happy anyway.
That's
Like if I
it.
don't get the job in the West End, like I'm good. I'm setting myself a target because I want to push outside my comfort zone, but I'm not reliant on it.
So put it this way. So I'm actually going to use working with you as an example of creating, right? So I signed up to Tom. Yeah, I'm 36. I'm a dad. I was having a strong dad bod going, and I was like, it's time to go.
Six weeks
Because
you've been with us,
I
haven't
was
you?
just ready. I was ready. So I signed up, me and my wife. Now, here's what happened. We set a goal of dropping maybe 10 to 12 kilos, actually. It's quite a strong goal over 12 weeks, but we felt strong about it and we could do it. So the point being is then I sort of marry the idea of where I'm going in my mind. So now it's like 80 kilos. So I started to train for the first week, started to notice feeling a bit stronger in the body. But then I look at the mirror and the mirror's not reflecting the feeling inside of me, right?
Yeah.
So put it that way. So I've married the idea of who I'm going to be, though. So then I see this mirror reflection and I'm shocked by it because I've become so connected to who I'm going to be that I'm
Yeah.
shocked at what's in the mirror.
Why isn't it happening in 7 days?
But this is the point, though. This is the next step. I didn't judge that shock. I didn't go, you stupid guy. Why are you not at your 80 kilos in 7 days? Instead, I was like, whoa, why am I not there? Oh, yeah, because there is a time frame that needs to happen for me to achieve it. But I'm so certain that I'm going to get there that it doesn't matter that I'm not there yet. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the point is I sort of sat with the idea of who I am as a fit, healthy, successful person, blah, blah, blah. And I've become normal to it. Now it's not like on a pedestal. So I haven't put, or like for actors out there, don't put West End like, oh my God, the most pedestal place I could ever be. It's
Right.
actually start to feel like it's the most natural thing you're ever going to do. You think about, Oliver Tom said, Alice Fern, yourself as Gaston. Once you're playing Gaston, once I was playing Frankie Valli, I'm not like every day like, oh my God, this is the most special thing I've ever done. It's like, this is my normal now. So I try to get people to normalize their goals, even though they're extreme, by sitting with the idea of it, noticing the emotional resistance to the achievement, which could be, I'm scared, it feels weird. And just, I ask them to sit, where is that sort of energy on your body? So, for example, someone may go, I've got an audition for the West End tomorrow. The chest rises up,
Right.
anxiety. I ask you all to do this. Shut your eyes and just watch the anxiety. So there's something inside you that noticed you're anxious. That's the true you. That's the observer. So that part of you just watches this energy on your chest.
Mm.
And as you start to breathe and relax your body physically, so your shoulders will drop, you will close your eyes, you'll breathe, you'll start to notice that energy starts to move. Now, after a while, I want people to realize that a body that is relaxed can't hold on to a high intensity emotion. So the emotion starts to leave and release. You'll get this feeling of relief. From there, you claim, this is the easiest audition I've ever done. Everyone in the room loves and respects me. And you can visualize it going really well from there. But a lot of people try to visualize over that anxiety, and the brainstem doesn't get past the brainstem into the body. It just goes, no, don't agree with that. They're going to hate me. I'm going to fail. And then you just get a lot of resistance to that new idea.
Everything that you say, when you say talk about tools to do it, you speak in quite a relaxed way, which for me reflects when we're trying to and pushing, we have this like, even my voice is like tightening and we push. But when you talk about the tools and the art of manifesting, everything seems quite relaxed, which maybe is seems to be our true self. And maybe the job is about
Yes.
like bringing down that kind of anxiety and that tension, which doesn't really serve us, and we can't really sort of sit into the moment of it all.
No. And so, look, at the end of the day, you're going to have a little bit of nervous energy or tension before an audition. We're not going to get rid of that totally. But the point of it is that all the, if it's overwhelming, it's only going to hinder you. And you're only going to start to create ideas in your mind that are false. Like, the people in here looked at me funny. They're judging me. They don't want me to succeed. All of those are just us projecting our own insecurities onto something in front of us. Yeah.
Mm.
So now when we go beyond what I'm saying, which is more practical, I believe, and this, I'm not someone who's a Bible guy but like I read a lot of spiritual texts just to learn more and more. And the idea of Jesus as a sort of whole was the Prince of Peace. Now, I'm not talking about the Bible teachings in, the clinical way of the church, but think about that. In the Bible, he's represented as someone who turns water to wine, manifests many different things. He's the Prince of Peace. So I found that coming to a place of peace in myself allowed me to access that almost divine spark of energy that now can create. Because I always put it this way: I had no conscious effort in creating the universe, in creating this world. But I do, what I can do is notice the perfection of it. So if I get out of the way of needing it to go exactly how I want and in the time frame I want, and start to relax and know that life wants to work for me, then when I become intentional, forgive it. See, I'll get the police are coming after me. They're going to arrest me for telling you this. That's what that noise is in the background. Basically, once I relax in this, now from that place of relaxation, that intention that I make gets accepted by the subconscious mind, and I believe then taken on by a divine force. I know it sounds a bit out there, but that's
No, but you hear every amazing bit of art, everything that's ever been truly amazing in this world, you hear the story of like it just happened. Like someone wrote a song, it happened within 15 minutes. Or like
yeah.
I just had to get out of the way of myself. Like how many times have we heard that? And that's basically what you're saying. Once we get out of the way of our own mind and let it be, things kind of just happen in the way they're meant to.
Yeah, and also I put it this way, right? So say for example, I'm having a week with my coaching, and like a few people have decided they might want to work with me, but they haven't made any decision, or but my ego self goes, I want them to sign up, so I want them to do it now. The only way I approach that is I let go of that resistance. So sometimes it happens in 20 minutes, sometimes it takes a couple of days. But I've noticed every time I observe the feeling physically on my body, breathe behind it and let it release, then just say everything is working out for me, or I can become a bit more intentional on specifics. Then once I finally notice that release, it seems to happen. And I just see it more and more with my clients, more and more with me, that the only thing that I need to do is go to the release work, let go of the reaction. So your reactions are actually telling you how you really feel about it.
Right.
So from Frankie Valley, I was earning a good living. And then I went through a time of real struggle financially, actually. So when I wanted to change that in myself, I decided to just notice my reactions to money. oh, I get very tense when I'm about to pay for things. When a bill comes in, I get very tense. I just started to work with the tension, let it go, and then claim, I'm infinitely prospered, whatever it was. After about 6 to 7 weeks, I started to notice with that releasing work that I started to get more than I ever had. I started to, life started to work for me rather than me having to try so hard to get everything. So when you get out of the way, it's almost like life starts to go, okay, I'm going to guide you now. I'm going to help you through. So anyone out there trying to get, their next achievement as an actor, sit with the idea until it feels very natural. If there is resistance against you becoming a TV actor or a West End star or whatever it is, notice where that comes up physically and start to work with it. When you think about your agent and you start to get an anxiety because you're like, I feel like he's not working for me, deal with the anxiety first, then take action from a place of peace and call them and explain yourself. It always seems to work out much better. When you do it from fear, you get something back in return that is the same energy.
So if you've got someone who's trying to get their next achievement and they're sort of placing fake positivity on top of that, and like they say they're feeling it and they're fine with being a TV actor, but let's just say really that they're not, what advice would you give them, and what sort of stuff can they do to fully but believe like you are
Yeah.
that person?
Well, see, since I've been coaching, I've been working with millionaires and stuff like that at times too, in Dubai. And I'm not to say that in any ego, but just interesting to sit with people like that. When they spend their money, when they act their ways, they don't think, oh, I'm a millionaire, like this is. So my thing is stop thinking you've got to visualize and walk around like it every day. What you got to do is just notice say, for example, you're like, I feel good about being a TV actor. But then your agent rings you and says, you've got a self-tape tomorrow. And you go, oh, I'm nervous, like that. Then you realize, someone who is always booking not self-tapes, they're like, great, another self-tape. It's very natural for them. So I would deal with the emotional your reactions are going to tell you how you really feel. Your body's going to tell you how you really feel. Like I could say to someone, when you're going to be in the West End then? And they'll go 6 months, but their body goes, whoop.
Yeah,
You can speak it with confidence, but your body is the lie detector. So
right.
I started to care more about how my body was acting rather than these thoughts that were going round and round. But what
Okay.
tends to happen once you release that energy is your thoughts slow down very much. See, I don't think half as much as I used to anymore. It's like more of a gentle place to live in my brain now because I dealt with the energy underneath it that is fueling those thoughts that are going around, which is fears, anxieties, doubts, insecurities. And now I'm just a bit more peaceful.
How was manifesting and the work that you do helped you in your life, both as an actor, and then how has that changed into you now?
I actually want to speak about that because I genuinely manifested Frankie Valli, but I manifested it from a place of need and wanting to prove myself. So I then hit a wall in my second year of this person who was trying to be perfect. And that you
Right.
and I don't know if you had left by that point where I really hit it, but towards the end of my first year and into my second year, I just hit this wall of burnout because I was trying to be this perfect version of myself. So the beautiful thing is I realized that actually the highest performers in the world, athletes and otherwise, they go to a very relaxed state of being a lot. So I can access the full potential of my mind. So I've got a subconscious mind that knows exactly how to sing, knows exactly how to connect with someone as an actor. But my conscious mind's getting in the way because it's going, you didn't quite hit that note. You didn't quite do that. That wasn't good enough. And I don't allow the true beauty of my own intelligence. I'm talking about everyone in this way to
No, I
actually
totally
just
get
flourish.
that because I felt that as well. I've been told all my life you shouldn't gym, you shouldn't lift weights because it's going to affect on my voice. And I thought about it that much that it did have an effect on my voice. But as soon as I went,
Right.
I actually don't give a shit. I'm going to train and I'm going to try and hit those notes. And as soon as I stopped giving a shit, I could do it all.
Yes,
Like,
because your body is actually amazing. And I mean, honestly, I had a woman who worked with me, because she just liked my message. We got her to a place of peace and she had big skin irritations on her face and they left. Like, I'll even send you the photo. And I'm not trying to, go too deep into this, but the body is a very interesting place, and it works how you expect it to work. So if you can get to the place of I'm a great singer, but not like I'm a great singer, I need to say I'm a great singer. More like when I sing, I just love it. When I sing, I'm
Mm.
really free. I love singing. Then suddenly your voice will just work at optimal level.
Yeah, just
You
does
know,
it, doesn't it? It
like I
just
was
does it.
training today and it was really tough one. I told you, I was like,
Yeah.
I got it done, you know? But if I had gone in, if I didn't use my own advice, but if I'd gone in with a bit of a different mindset of I love this training rather than it's 7 in the morning, these weights are heavy, you know, if
Yeah.
I'd gone in and like, this is the best thing, you know, and I'd actually got to a place of actual relaxation in it, I would have achieved maybe heavier weights and da da da. So I'm just saying that the it's when we make it life playful and fun, where you, especially as a performer, if you go into an audition and be like, this is the fun part of my job, rather than I need to get the job, just watch how many more things you book. Trust
Mm.
me.
So
Sorry.
another question then is if you were still acting now, how would you approach that differently? Because I think that could help a lot of people that have
Yeah.
trying to, and that's coming from I've tried the whole gratitude list. I've tried that and I was very quite, go, 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 go. I want it. And I think what you're saying is coming from a different place of peace. So if you were still in the acting industry, how would you approach
So
that?
yeah, so what I would do is I would look at the people that I find admirable in the area. Now I don't know him well, but for some reason his name's coming up to me. Let's say Oliver Thompson. Now I'm
Yeah.
not saying that he is always perfect and chilled, but let's put it this way: when he goes to an audition, he's expecting I will get a lead role in some audition that I get,
Yeah.
right? So he's just living in that energy of well, I'm not here for the ensemble part, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like there's just that knowing. So what I would do is I would be like, well, I'm a leading man, and I would work with that concept in myself. You know, even though, let's say, even when I started to want to become a leading man, I still believed that I was, even though I was in the ensemble. So it was like I'm not there yet, but I know I will. So if I was coming into an audition now, I would walk in there like everyone here loves and respects me. I absolutely deserve to be here, and I would sit with that energy, and I would ask them to let me not go into the room. Like I wouldn't wait for ages, but I would be in the audition rather than like warming up all the time. I'd just sit very still. I'd start to notice all the feelings in my body that were saying you're not good enough or this is scary, and I'd just sit with them and I'd let them release, and then I would say this is going to go exactly how it's meant to, and I'd take the pressure off. So if it goes terribly, oh well, I'm going to have another audition. But 99% of the time, when you're coming from that place, this is going to go exactly how it's meant to. Everyone here loves and respects me. I'm going to do a great job. You'll go in there with such an ease, and you'll hit your notes, and you'll be chilled, and you'll have fun with the audition panel, and they will feel calm because your energies come in ready to just be there, you know? And that's how I would approach it now.
And then let's just go through that. Say 6 months later, you adopt this mentality, keep going for these auditions, and it doesn't happen. You're not actually becoming that main character energy that you want. What are then the next steps of doing things? Is it starting to do classes? Is it to get a mentor, a coach,
Mm,
or is it
it is.
again looking at your inside and going, okay,
So it's the inside is the ultimate point, I think, to start with. But we have to realize that there is three aspects to creation. It's mind, body, and soul. So it is going. So like for you, with why did I sign up to you, Tom? If it's all about inner work, because I want my body to
yeah,
reflect who I actually am. Do you know what
yeah.
I'm saying?
Mm,
So the point is there is action to be taken. So my point is going, you find peace, you take some guided action from that place of peace, which may be, I'm going to work with, I'll just name drop Mark Malin because he was my singing teacher. I'm
mm,
going to work with Mark Malin or one of the other singing teachers out there. I'm going to go to Pineapple so I can be in the energy of performance and high standards. I would just place myself in areas of high standards that I want to achieve just so I start to feel natural in those areas. You see,
mm,
if you're someone who's come out of college, you've not worked for a year, you're doing a lot of inner work, you've got to think, I need to stay fresh. I need to be with people who are performing. I need to, so I'd maybe go and just sing at an open musical theatre night just for fun. I'd do that. I'd start to step into areas and get out into the world.
mm.
Action is required. Mentors are very powerful. I'm a
Mm,
massive fan of mentors. Trust
yeah.
me.
Same.
Yeah.
What they've
So
done
I have one
in
for
my
a
life.
business mentor. I've got you as my fitness mentor. Uh, does it mean that I think a lot of people think they need to know it all and have it all, but you don't. If you need someone to help you in the inner world, yes. But then that doesn't mean you're going to miraculously take 2 octaves of your voice on.
Mm,
You still need to take some action to now, from that place of I'm going to achieve it quicker. So, for example, I'm bang on track with us because I'm relaxed about the idea of getting there. I'm also acceptant if I don't quite make it. I'm not emotionally like I must, but I'm like I'm going to get there. And if I'm 1 or 2 kilos off, I'm still happy.
but I think there's also something with you that can reflect and go uh, and be honest with yourself of go like
Yeah,
I was a bit off it there instead of
yeah,
just the forced positivity like no, why is it not working? I did everything right. It's
yeah.
like some honesty and like oh, I need to get a bit better. That's all it.
Well,
If
it's
you
like
react
this
to the
week,
world
I'm
like
cutting
why is
out
it
the
not?
gin and tonics.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I'm
So
going,
it's
I am enjoying a gin and tonic as part of my calories, but I'm going to cut them out because I want to hit the next phase. Yeah.
mm,
And the thing that you do amazingly, Tom, is you've got such a great structure with everything that you do. And you implement things and you stay consistent. That's the thing that you've just reminded me of. People will do it for 4 weeks and say nothing's happened and they'll stop. I'm saying this isn't a 4 week process, this is a lifestyle, mate. So
mm,
fitness now, I'm not seeing our 12-week starting plan as the end. I'm
yeah,
seeing it as a lifestyle that I want to create now. Do you
like
see?
a
And I think
launching
that's what
pad.
people need to do. Yeah.
So moving on from that, how do you think health and fitness helps making manifesting better, or let's not even use manifesting, creating the life that you want? And
Yeah.
I'm coming at it in terms of like energy and the energy
Yeah.
that you're giving off and like the things that you're shifting inside of yourself. How uh, does it? And then if so, how?
I think it's really important to take care of the physical body. So I think, mind. So I want to feed my mind things. I want to educate myself. I want to, affirm wonderful things. Body, I want to have a physical body that can achieve the energetic things I want to do. And also soul. So I'm going to deal with the soul. Now I start soul, then I go to mind, then I go to body. If you are walking as the person you want to be, so you're in the best shape of your life, you're going to naturally elude an energy of confidence. Put it this way as well. I didn't want to do that workout at 7 this morning, but I feel very good now because my body, the physical meat suit that I happen to kind of manifest in to experience this life, needs me to take care of it too.
It's
Now,
getting them all working together.
yeah. So the thing is like, let's put it this way. This is my feeling. I know people who've healed themselves from colitis from a vegan diet. Then someone else tries it, it doesn't work for them. So I'm saying marry the two, marry the mind. So if I wasn't in the right mindset to take your 12-week coaching, I just wouldn't achieve it.
Mm.
If my soul wasn't ready to express it, I wouldn't achieve it. So I believe it's like that I came to you at a time when I was ready because I was like, well, my body's not reflecting who I am inside anymore. So I want my body to reflect who I am inside. Now, some may come from the physical side first, but then that can bring them into the mental and emotional side of things too.
Mm.
So it doesn't matter where you approach it from. I'm just saying marry the three and you will be unstoppable, of course.
I've just finished reading the Chimp Paradox, and it's
Mm.
similar to what you're saying in the sense that you can't like wrestle with your brain. It's about like working with it and just getting them all to work together. For example, I
Yeah.
went to jump in the freezing cold sea this morning. My brain was like, I know it's a good idea. My body definitely didn't want to do it, and it's about like working with it and almost like bargaining with yourself. And guess what? After you do it, you feel amazing, and it sets you up for the day.
Yeah.
But it sounds like it's about getting them all to work together. Because even if you're just headstrong, but your body doesn't want to, or you've got emotional trauma, it isn't going to work, or is it? It's not going to stick, is it?
You're absolutely right, man. I think, for me, I say like you just have to look at your life and notice where the things are not quite working. And you'll say, so for example, I use this as a good example. You've got, you or your friend keeps going through these horrible relationships that keep like hurting them. And you have to, after a while, go, is it them or is it me? And it's not because you're a bad person. It's because there's a trauma inside you that keeps attracting you to the person that's going to tweak that trauma. So I say, deal with the trauma first. Don't take the action towards the thing you want for now. work with the trauma for a few weeks, then take gentle action towards what you want, and then you'll see that it works. So for me, it was like I had to wrap my mind around the idea of fitness and getting back into fitness. So I sat with it for a few weeks before reaching out to you. I didn't even need a reach out call, did I? So I was
No.
just like, we're just going because I know,
Yeah.
So I say always take action, always marry the three. Never take action from fear if we can help it.
Mm.
Sometimes you have to, but don't make your decision in a state of fear. Deal with the fear, find the inner peace, then move forward and make a decision. But lastly, on that, Caravat, not too much inaction either. I'm talking like a week or two,
Mm.
before you make the decision, and then
So
just do
important,
it.
isn't it? The action part.
Yeah, action is so vital, and people forget that with manifestation. They're like, if I sit and visualize myself as a leading man, I'm going to do it. But I said to someone the other day, I was like, you said you want to be rich without leaving your bedroom by manifesting it. I said, well, what you're going to get very good at is not leaving your bedroom, because it's like, it doesn't matter how much your energy is aligned to it. You're not taking the now steps as that person. So you can be, I'm a millionaire. Now take the actions of that person then.
Mm.
Watch how it just flies to you and you create it. So if you want to be a leading person in the West End, you want to be in shows in general or an actor on TV, start to make it feel natural in your mind. Go to the classes where you are feeling inspired and in that energy. Then reach out to the agents you want. Then go to the auditions knowing that you're going to achieve it. Doesn't matter if it's 6 months, a year, 2 years, you will do it.
Mm.
When
And
I let go
sometimes,
of the, sorry,
well, I
go
was
on.
just going to add on to that, that it feels sticky, doesn't it? Taking action sometimes, getting outside your comfort zone. It feels like nerve-wracking, but I think becoming an action taker does take practice, in my
It does.
experience, because you can get, fearful about the stuff, but sometimes it's just actually taking a leap of faith and putting yourself in those uncomfortable positions more often, i.e., going to the gym. It's not a comfortable feeling, like you said this morning, but you just have to practice it.
It does. And also then it has to become a part of your lifestyle, like I'm trying to teach people. So that people come to me and they're like, what's the techniques to manifest? I'm like, no, wait. We're creating a lifestyle way of living that I want you to live, and just watch how you manifest effortlessly all the time.
Mm.
You see? So now it's like, it doesn't take long for me to create what I want. Now, obviously, people go, why aren't you a millionaire yet? Well, I would say I'm very comfortable and looked after by the universe. So I'm where I want to be. You see, so it's not necessarily that person's always a millionaire, that person's always this, always that. Where do you want to be? You may just say, I want to be in a show. Great. I want to be on cruises. Fantastic. Do them. No one, your goal is your goal. It doesn't matter. But normalize and make the lifestyle of that person, become that person internally, mentally, and physically. And you're just going to do it, aren't you?
So for people that need numbers, that need science, that need evidence, is there any science around it? And if so, what is this science around manifesting?
It's really interesting because I like to sometimes explain it in a different way. Let's think. My point is this, right? Is you have a conscious mind and a subconscious mind. It's the subconscious mind that runs your bodies. When you eat, you don't go digest, 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 do you? It just does it. So what you have to realize is that actually 90% of us is just automatic, habitual ways of being, right? So manifesting, obviously, I talk about it from a spiritual point of view, but the science behind it is that you have a body in there that is run on genes and proteins and all of this. If you start to emotionally and physically embrace a future that feels real to you because you've let go of all fears around it and it feels natural to you, your body is going to start to create the hormones and proteins as if that's already happened. It doesn't know the difference. So if you visualize yourself running a race, the same neurons are going to fire in the muscles that are as if you were running it. So the
Mm.
point is the more that you become natural with the concept of what you want to be, the more your body already believes you've done it. So the subconscious mind automatically goes into action to get you there. So you'll notice opportunity more. You'll just seem to go to that class without as much resistance. You'll get in at 7 a.m. and do your workout because that's who you are now. Like that,
And then the pathways in the brain have been built over time.
Yes.
of that way.
Yes. Now, obviously, away from the science, I believe there is a innate life principle or spiritual energy, creative, divine energy within us that wants us to always achieve and have everything we want in life. But we block it because of our past emotional traumas or the
Yeah.
characters we create in our mind. So that there's the two sides of it. But at the end of the day, everything you've ever done, your subconscious mind has some log of it. All of the knowledge that you have in you, your subconscious mind has some log of it. So if I hold a gun to your head now, Tom, and said, if you don't tell me all of these factors about how to get fit, I'm going to shoot you. You know, if I pushed you hard enough, you'd be like, I can't actually access that knowledge because I'm so scared of the fact that there's a gun at my head.
Hmm.
A lot of us don't realize we're living in a constant state of stress and fear, so we can't actually access our full potential. So when we're about to sing, we don't access the full neurological connection to the voice. So we hit the bum note in the audition that I've hit 20 times in class amazingly because I feel like it's life and death. So I'm
Hmm.
trying to say to people, work on your inner peace. You're going to access much more of your potential because you are now not in a fight or flight situation. You're in a, this is fun. This is playful. I love this.
It's funny you mention all this because all the top athletes in the world now have like sports psychologists, and what the sports
Right.
psychologists are saying is it's getting them to access their subconscious because their subconscious doesn't know reality from not reality. So if you're
Right.
imagining that you've already won the race and it's lighting off all those things in the brain and the body, then it's more than likely going to happen because your subconscious doesn't really know what's real or not real anyway. So if you
That's it.
really believe that you're going to get a gold medal in the Olympics, then if you've done the training, then you will because you won't be in fight or flight.
Exactly. And I think I use this example a lot. I used to watch tennis quite a lot. Andy Murray against Federer. Now, those four could beat each other. They could always beat each other. But I always noticed with Andy Murray, before he started to win the titles, he was so angry at mistakes. And then he would live in that anger for the next 3 or 4 shots. Whereas Federer
Mm.
would go, oh, I'm annoyed, and then let it go immediately. So he then accessed that relaxed state of the natural, like, I want to hit the ball like this, but I'm not thinking about it. Whereas Andy Murray would have been in, oh, I'm going to smash this ball. So he's not using the full potential of his innate tennis knowledge that he's created over those years. You see,
Mm.
if you've been dancing and singing all your life, you know what to do. So why would you block yourself from actually accessing those years of muscle, firing because you're living in fight or flight? And people do it in all areas of life, achievement at work, in other areas of work and health and everything, because they're letting the stresses of life become see, life's very seductive. It's going to stress you out if you let it, but actually nothing has meaning except the meaning you give it. So if
Mm.
you can start to observe your emotional reactions to things, you start to realize how much meaning you give to things that probably don't mean that much actually.
So what would you say to skeptics? People that are feeling a bit low in themselves, maybe their life isn't quite going away. They've tried reading a few books, it hasn't happened, and they're just like, it's a load of old shit. What would I say to them?
Yeah, that's a really good question, actually.
Because I
Great
think there's
question, Tom.
people that will be listening to this, and there's a little small part of me that have tried stuff, and you try it once and it doesn't happen, or maybe life isn't going the right way, or it's all right for them. They've got money,
Mm.
or they're a certain size, or. So what would you say to all the skeptics about this stuff?
So I'll say this. I'm going to tell you this, so I'm going to be vulnerable right now. So when I really started to live this way again after being an actor, I was living in Spain, probably £40 in the bank, 3 kids, a wife, just stressed out my head. What am I doing? I'm trying to live in Spain and do something special. I can't even enjoy it. So
Hmm.
I'll say to them, you're feeling stressed, man. Why don't you just take a chance to say, I just don't care if anything changes in my real world. I don't care. I just want to feel better. And that's what I did. I said, I just don't want to feel like this anymore. And I lived like it for about 6 to 12 weeks. That's when the changes started to notice. Now, I would say if you're not sure how to apply it, check out my YouTube channel, maybe, or find someone who can help you to do that. And then learn how to apply it and then live like it for 3 months consistently. But that just so consistently, and just come back and tell me if you're a skeptic anymore.
Mm.
That's
But
what I
but
would say.
but detached from the outcome.
The thing is the outcome is just an expression of what you've done. See, the achievement is the latter. It comes as a natural expression because of the what you've done inside and the action that you've taken.
Mm.
So achievement is really the meaningless part of it. It's the last thing.
Well, how many times have we got something and gone, it feels good for a few minutes or maybe a day, and it's like, okay, what's next? Like, surely that's proof that actually the journey and the doing, like, is the best part.
But that's why I think I had that emotional and mental breakdown, and I'll call it that, does not sound dramatic, in my second year of Jersey Boys, because I was like, I've achieved what my dream was, and I don't probably feel any more worthy or better. You know, so when I really made it about how I was inside, and then I went back and done the tour, and it was the easiest thing I've ever done because I didn't need to prove anything. I just felt at ease with myself. And, you know, it's achievement is fleeting, but the inner, if you can feel peaceful and happy, regardless of what's going on around you, you're going to live a good life. And
Mm.
solutions to problems always arise. I mean, I could tell you so many stories, Tom, even with like court things that happened to me, like little silly mistakes that I made. And they were like, well, we want to collect our money through this. I just went totally to peace. And they actually come back to me and said, sorry, we made a mistake. Can we pay you money? Honestly, read The Surrender
Yes, you can.
Experiment. Read The Surrender Experiment by Michael Singer.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So, is there any books for how people want to learn more or get started that you'd recommend? So, the book.
Besides my book, no, I'm kidding.
Do you have a
No,
book?
no, I have one I wrote when I was on tour, Jersey Boys, that is a bit different to how I teach now. But I would
You're gonna
actually,
write one though, eh?
yeah, I'm going to write in one at the moment. Yeah,
Sweet.
yeah, just for fun. I'm sure. No, I'll see who buys it. I don't know, but the point being, it's more just to put it down what I've learned. But I would suggest Untethered Soul or Surrender Experiment by Michael Singer.
Hmm.
The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy. Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Joe Dispenza. So I've amalgamated a mixture of all of their teachings to make my own teachings. But the truth is the letting go part of the emotions, becoming the master of your emotions is really the key. It doesn't mean I don't have reactions still, but they last very little amount of time nowadays.
I have The Untethered Soul at home. Mimi said it's one of the best books she's ever read, so
Oh,
I'm
it's
gonna read it on
special.
holiday.
But I think you would really enjoy. Maybe you'll read that one and then go straight on to the surrender experiment because it shows you how he lived through that and what happened in his life. And
Right.
honestly, I was listening to it work. I don't listen to techno working out. I was listening to the surrender experiment the other day. And I was just like, you know, I'm really pleased I approach life in a similar way. Now, I'm not as awakened as him. I'm not egotistical enough to say that, but I do approach life in a similar way. And it has happened to seem to be working out, you know? And I just think, be the scientist of your own life. Take the
Mhm.
experiment of it. Just see, get the knowledge and then put it to work and see what happens. You know, at
Mm.
the end of the day, you said to me, eat this many calories, do my workouts. Sometimes I looked at the workouts, went, oh, on paper, that looks simple. But then I did them. I was like, oh, my days, they're hard, you know? And then I've seen the result because I said, I'm going to absolutely surrender to your knowledge and
Yeah.
just follow it because I'm not as knowledgeable as you. And that's what I want people to do.
Mm.
Find someone that you respect who's done it, take them on or read their book and then apply it to your life. But people don't apply it for long enough because they get lost back into the reactions of life. See, I've been doing it for 4 weeks. I've just got a massive bill through the door, been trying to manifest abundance, and I've just got a massive bill. Well, sometimes life challenges you. It says, do you really want this? Or so I've been challenged recently, but it doesn't bother me. I go, okay, my van died. I had to buy a new one. Okay, cool. It will come back to me another way.
Mm.
I'm not nothing really I don't allow anything to emotionally bother me as much anymore. That's what I would ask people to do.
So, if people want to work with you or they want to follow your work, where can they find you or how can they get in touch with
Well, I would say if you want to work with me, you can come to rebornwithmichael.com, or if you want to just check out what I'm talking about and sounds all a bit mad and you just want to hear some more, just Reborn with Michael on YouTube. The whole idea is that we let go of a part of ourselves. A part of ourselves must almost metaphorically die for us to kind of resurrect the truth of, our own wonderful perfection. We're all beautiful inside. We're all deserving of good things, but we've got all these stories going on. Let that part of you fall away and see how your life takes flight, is what I would say.
Nice. Cheers,
Yeah.
Mikey. It's been a real pleasure.
You're a wonderful host, mate. I need to check out your other podcast now.
Thank you, mate.
Pleasure.
We'll leave it there. Any questions, let us know. But I hope you enjoyed, guys. Take care. Speak soon. Bye.